us to just go further to talk about budgeting.
Okay, budgeting. Budgeting in simple terms is just financial projection of what your expenses will look like in a layman language. So meaning you're trying to project what is going to be the cost of my livelihood, either for a month or for a year. And a lot of things you need to look at when you begin to talk about budgeting. First, like I said, it can be annual, it can be weekly, it can be for a period of time, it can be monthly. It depends on what you have in mind. But let me just restrict myself into monthly, because most of us runs either on monthly salary or monthly returns. And I might drift a little bit into people doing business. And why am I doing that? I'm intentionally forcing every salary earner that is hearing me today to begin to think about having a business. Somebody said something while I was entering university. He said his boss told him, he's a mechanical engineer in Nesu, one of my senior brother while I was growing up. He told me that his white boss told him that's maybe like his head manager or so. He told him, he said, do you know that you cannot become a millionaire working in this organization? Nesu is a place everybody is jumping to go to, yes or no? You can't become the world richest. You may become a millionaire, maybe working in another industry, but you can't become world richest, being a salary earner. I'm not seeing somebody becoming the world richest so far. Go and check out the Forbes list, first 200. You can't see either working in oil industry or whatsoever. You can't see anybody there. Those you will see on the world ranking are those who are CEOs, who are founders, who are creating solutions. So I'm forcing everybody right now, coming back to the concept of budgeting, that either you're a salary earner, you must begin to look into other streams of income. And what is that? Doing a business. And business cut across quite a lot of things. You can begin to look into service, you can begin to look into goods, you can begin to look into consultation, which is still under professional service. Why? Because you are trying to put yourself on the course of passive income. I'm telling myself that I want to start retiring early. Today I was learning about early retirement. One of the banking officers should be 50-something years of age. He said he's retiring next year. Why? You need to begin to think futuristic. So what are the things that would help you? You can't begin to think of retiring early, knowing the things that are at stake if you are a salary earner. Back into context, budgeting. Number one thing that would help you as somebody doing business is that you must separate yourself from your business or from whatever salary you're earning. Let me try and add you salary earners into the picture. You must separate yourself from your business. So as I have a business budget, and I also have a family budget. Now, for my own sake, as a family man, I learned that it was not something that I wanted to, but I learned that for married couples, they enjoy each other more when they have a joint account. So people, based on research, people who run joint accounts make much more money than people who run separate accounts. So you can doubt that, but that's not for today. So separate yourself from the business. I have a personal account, and then I have a business account. From my personal account, from my business account, I have a salary coming into my personal account. Let's give, for instance, I would have loved to share a tracker. Maybe let me see if I can share my screen. Maybe I'll try and see while talking if I can do that. So from my business account, I have a certain amount of money that is coming to my personal life. Yes, I make $1 million. I make $1 million. From $1 million, I'm saying I'm paying myself 400K as my personal salary. In my business account, I also have business expenditure. So meaning I expect that probably the running cost of oil, running cost of data, running cost of every other thing that I'm doing in my business should come from there. Are you getting my point? That is business account. Business must also have savings. Same as my personal accounts must also have savings. So I'm operating my life outside my business. Are you getting my point? Number two thing that you need to know is that you need to, what has been working for me and what has been said based on my mentor. He said something, he said, if you are more than 30 years of age, you need to cultivate the habit of saving 35% of what you are earning. So if you're less than 30 years of age, you need to save 30%. So meaning you don't need to, you must not spend more than 70, but save 30. So for somebody making $1 million who is spending 400,000 naira salary, for my salary, I must not spend more than 70% of my salary in a month. So I don't know what that figure is. You can calculate that, put that on the chat box, let us see. So what am I going to do with the other money? I'll show some of my tracker. I will not want to. I will not want to, so that you will know how my expenses are. So, but I'll try and share a template after the day. But let me give an overview of what it's going to be. Let me see if I can get somebody else's report. That could really help us. Hope that is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me give a little example so we can relate with that. All right. So I'm opening the document. Let me show someone else's budgetary. So now, in my savings, I now divide my savings into 3. But personally, I run 4. But I divide it into 3. Majorly, number 1 is emergency fund. Emergency fund is such that anything that happens suddenly, I can go to that account. So emergency is not impulse funds. Cancel that. I'm not saying, hey, I saw fancy iPhone, let me go and buy. That's not emergency. Emergency is something that relates to life and death. So that's emergency fund, and that takes 10% out of my savings. About 30%. Second aspect is what? Is personal development fund, and that personal development fund talks about everything you could think about that will add to your knowledge, that will add to your development. You want to buy a course, you want to buy books, you want to buy anything that will add value to you. So why? Because many people don't value knowledge, but you will remain at that level to your knowledge. So I say that is because of what you know and what you don't know that puts you at the spot where you are right now. If you know more, you earn more. It's because I learned more about what I do. That's why I'm earning more than what I used to do. Are we getting it? So create a budget for learning. So I don't need to use that money this month. I don't need to use it next month. But a time can come that I need to buy a course. I was about buying a course that was close to about 1.2 million naira. Although I don't have that money at that time. But I was ready to stake almost every other thing for it. But I am staking on the savings I have on my personal development fund. Why? By the time I do this particular course, it will help me to begin to increase my earning by times 2. So I'm ready to sacrifice whatever amount of money for it. It looks expensive, but like the Bible says, buy knowledge.
The truth.
What am I saying? Buy the truth. Buy the truth and sell it.
Buy the truth and sell it not. Yeah.
And sell it not. So I'm ready to buy as much as possible. So this budget is available for it. The last one is regular savings. That one is untouchable, no matter what happens. So that's untouchable. You can touch PDF for learning. You can touch emergency for anything. For regular savings, you can't touch it. So I'll still talk later on areas you can put it that can really help you. For me, I have families or children supports. So that is because I'm a family man. I have that as well. The man said I am saving up for my Harvard school, for the Harvard school fees of my children. He said he started since he was about 20-something years of age. Imagine how much that could be right now. So you can begin to plan for the future, and that will really help. That's number 2. And number 3, before I share my screen, is that you need to give up from African mentality of being over merciful. And I'll end on that note so that I won't take too much of our time. That has killed me in the past, and I want to share that as a wonderful truth. These are the things that really cracks people from spending too much. You might have budgeted that you are spending this amount of money. Usually, I tell myself that it's almost like I'm giving much more than I'm even paying to myself. So those times, I started buying food, eating, enjoying my life. And like I know that this I'm making money because literally, almost most of my money goes to borrow me this, borrow me that. So you need to be frugal when it comes to money. And when I'm talking about frugal, you need to be wise enough. You could have some questions, you can drop it, it could be somehow. But this is what I mean. Every time in my budget, I have a certain amount of money that I budgeted for giving. So if I want to give out to people, I have a certain amount of money that I'm giving out to people. If it goes more, it can't go much more than that. Beyond that. So the only thing that can make it go more than that is because I'm a Christian, that God is infusing me, and I've trained myself not to be moved by emotions. So if you are not trained yourself, your mind will still be telling you what God is not saying. So I'll train my emotions to decipher that this is my emotions running and this is God speaking. So it's only at that spot that I can begin to shoot into my other. That means I have to sacrifice my other wants for your own need. So over merciful talks about even not being over merciful to yourself when you really need to. And over merciful talks about not being over merciful to others because people want to become El Shaddai, providing for other people's wants. Remember, when anybody tells you I need 10,000 naira on your DM, he's sending it to 5 different people, looking for the merciful one that will answer him. A message should not give no. So either you answer or not. Man has been structured to always look for alternative. And I do say, try it one day. The person that will tell you, I will die if you don't give me this money. I will die if you don't give me this money. Go back 2 weeks time. Ask the person, Have you died? Are we together? If you can hear me, just thumbs up. I could not see the what's it called? The convener. Let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
All right. So go back to his time. Ask the person, are you still alive? You see that people will still survive without you. So that's because you could not even live your life such that 20 years time, people will look at you that will one. So you must be wise enough to know that your money is for your present and also for the future. God gives the seed and also gives the bread. Bread is for your current time and the seed is for your future. So don't eat your seed today and don't also plant your bread. So enjoy your life, help people right now, as well as also invest into your future. So I think this would have led because of time. I would not want to. It's a whole lot of things you can talk about from today to tomorrow.
Right.
So
Yeah.
let me just share my screen to give a view overview, if you don't mind. Let me see if it's possible. Let me see. So let me just share my entire screen. All right. So can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it now.
All right. So if you look at this can track. After the call, you can chat up the host. So get this track. I can release it. It was given for me for free. Freely have I received. Freely I will share. So like I said, I and my wife are running joint account. So as well, you can see the whatever flow is coming as salary. Now we have expenses, groceries, a lot of things, PACN, security. I have categories for it under expenses, capital expenses, rents, everything unplanned. So unplanned is where you see traveling, healthcare, miscellaneous. You can see miscellaneous there in case of incasity. Child support is part of expenses, not even part of savings here. Gift and support. So every gift I'm giving to people is inside gift and support. Monthly seed, maybe I want to give seed to certain persons, maybe spiritual people, or maybe to a community. Gift and support. Monthly crusades, I run that. Church offering, I have a figure. So in a month, I already know how much I'm paying for offering. Except God is saying, but most likely, I don't even hear it. So thank God for that. So parents, I try to, but on recent times, we have to intentionally cost down because of increasing demand. So because you also have to avoid black tax, you can see the figure. The figure is not so exorbitant. Why? Because many people are putting themselves in too much chains of what they can't finance. You are the first one of the family and you are feeling like you need to pay your school fees, the school fees of your siblings. And the last one of the family, yet I still have a lot of persons saying, Egbon. So I have a budget for it that is reasonable, very, very small amount. In fact, it could only just do a little. So don't put yourself under a duress so that you can plan yourself and later you can have more strength. Somebody said, don't kill yourself right now, rather than investing so much such that you can be able to help people very well. Don't forget, because nobody parent, if you kill yourself today, there's nobody to help later on. So you can see transportation, you can see all those categories. Then you can see savings. Look at what I just did. So here, I budgeted amount of money that's going to savings. Emergency, regular, children, can you see? So I'm not giving you babu. So these are the things you can begin to look at when you begin to talk about budgeting. And this goes for every month of the year. Can you see January, February, March, April, May? Debts. At the time I was paying debts. Can you see? I have to go into that. But now, let me not talk about that because of time. So those are the things you can begin to look into when you talk about budgeting. And these are the things that will really help you to push you into this freedom. Your mindset, you need to change your. I have to change my mindset and say no without looking back. Say no without feeling guilty. Say no without feeling like I was a people pleaser. But I discovered that if I don't begin to take this drastic step, I'll become a pauper later, and people will tell me, the same people I'm helping will tell me that, Victor, you know wise. So that's the fundamental thing you need to do when you're talking about budgeting, and many more like that.